Oh, did I ever tell you why it amused me so much that my mom bought me Diablo 3?
Uncovered an obscure
No.
and ancient tome in whose pages is recorded
Way
an
back in
impossible
'99
tale,
/
the secret
2000,
history of a race
Diablo
called
2
the
came out,
Nephilim, gods
and I got it on a
of
demo
heaven,
disc, and I
their
played it, and I
ruined
loved it, and I
civilization
bought
in the
Diablo
West.
2.
If this is
And it was
true,
good.
how could all signs
And then
of these
one day,
Nephilim be lost,
weird shit started
but for
going
the
down in the
record of
house.
This single
Shut up,
tome?
Rackus. Stop talking. And we're hanging out in the house. It started with me. I'm upstairs. I've described the house before, I think. It's a farmhouse. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's dark as balls. And the upstairs is one of those where it's like a T-shape. The floor is T-shaped. And you've got your walkway and a room to the right and a room ahead of you. No doors. It's just an odd A-frame attic. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
And I'm sleeping in that room to the right. So you go up the stairs, go down the hallway, turn right, I'm there. What the fuck? That wasn't my phone, that's his phone. And I'm laying there. It's probably about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I finally decided, fuck video games, I'm going to bed. And I lay down. And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I see but to this day I can only describe as it looks like somebody's fucking with a laser pointer. There's a dot on my wall. And I think it's my stepdad in the hallway. He's just fucking with me. Hey, buddy, turn that down just one button push. And I think he's fucking with me. So I'm like, Mike, fucking quit. I'm trying to go to sleep. And I'm watching it. Well, on the wall, we have 2 cubby holes. And there's basically a big crawl space inside of it. I watched the dot on the wall go into one of these cubby holes and then come out of the other. And I'm like trying to figure out why this is bothering me. I realize, wait, there's no fucking way there's an angle from the hallway where he could do that. I watched it go in. I watched it go behind the wall. I'm watching it as it's traveling, and it comes out. I'm like, that's fucking weird. I look over at the hallway, and there's like, you know how when there's somebody standing in a dark room, you could just make out a silhouette slightly darker than the room?
Yeah.
There's a silhouette in my fucking hallway. What the fuck is... And then it just kind of disappears. That's fucking creepy. I'm just kind of laying there. I'm like freaked out. I'm kind of a pussy at this point anyway. I don't like the dark. To this day, I'm still kind of scared of the dark.
Same.
But I deal with it. Whatever. So I've got that weird, oh god, I'm so scared, I can't move. It's like, so it takes me about 10 minutes.
Nothing can penetrate the magical quilt.
No. Go away, son. It takes me about 10 minutes to get out of bed. Like, I'm moving that slowly, constantly. And it takes me probably another 10 minutes to get across the room to the light switch. I turn on the light switch, and I bolt like a motherfucker down the stairs. Tell Mom what's going on. She's like, oh, whatever, you're fine. Go back to bed. I was like, I'm sleeping down here. She said, fine. A couple weeks later, I finally get the balls, get the nuts back to fucking sleep in my own room. I'm upstairs all by myself, pitch black again. I'm laying there, and I see that fucking red dot again. And it goes under my bed, and then it goes up the wall next to my bed, and I'm watching it. Where the fucking red dot is on the wall, someone would have to be laying under my bed to fucking put it there. And I watch it come up the wall, and I'm like, Mom! And about that time, I have one of these beds. Right, you got the headboard, the footboard, and then the 2 side pieces. And the side pieces have hooks that dig into the footboard. That's how they secure themselves. My footboard just falls off, and the foot of my bed goes boom. I was like, boom, gone. A couple days later, my brother's in his room, hanging out with his friend during a sleepover. He says he sees the red dot, and his computer monitor that's not attached to a computer turns on. Like, it's not plugged onto the wall or anything. It just fucking powers up. Fucking weird. Couple nights later, Mom's downstairs. She hears there's nobody else in the house. She hears thumping around upstairs. Freaks her the fuck out. Probably a month after that, my stepdad's sleeping in his room upstairs. And he wakes up because he hears something. He opens his eyes, and the covers, it feels like the covers are kind of tight on him, so he adjusts the covers and pulls them up. And his fucking covers just fucking fly off him. Well, Mom gets to doing some internet research because back in '99 / 2000, this was a really, this is a really good way to research anything. she's looking around, and she's got these people are like, oh, you gotta cleanse your aura, and other people are like, you gotta bless the house. Other people are like, anything at all evil has to go. Mom nails it down. Only 2 things she considers evil are in the house. She likes to watch John Edwards crossing over, and I like to play Diablo 2. So guess who's not allowed to play Diablo 2 anymore? Mom freaks the fuck out. For the last decade, Mom swears up and down, no, Diablo 2 did it! Diablo 2 made our house haunted as fuck! Now, keep in mind, after like 2 or 3 months of this going on, none of that shit ever happened again. We went back to normal. It was just fucking weird. But so Mom's like, Diablo 2's evil, it brings evil spirits in the house, and then they fuck with the bed and they walk around upstairs. And then Mom bought me Diablo 3, so that's why that's amusing. Wow. So I told you a heavy story to explain a stupid thing that makes me smirk a little.
That's ridiculous. Holy shit.
If only
Yeah,
they could see me
it was
now.
fucking crazy. And then after that happened, Mom started watching some like Long Island medium show or some shit.
Oh,
And the
God.
shit started going on. Like, this has just been less than a year ago. Back in February it happened, actually. In her new place, crazy shit starts going down. The cabin's slamming in the middle of the night and all this good shit. It's like, just want to point out, nobody's playing Diablo in your house, but you're watching the stupid fucking medium shows again.
The Long Island medium has been proven false.
Didn't see
It
that
has.
coming,
Well,
did
so
you?
was John Edwards. The only thing I can figure is if it's connected to anything, it's connected to a certain mindset. I still don't believe in an afterlife or anything like that, but there's totally
Right.
energy somewhere. And regardless of what you believe
try
and what
to
you can
explain
prove,
that
that
shit.
was freaky as shit.
I can imagine.
So yeah, impromptu story corner.
It's the best story corner.
Was it?
Impromptu things are always the
Arcane
best.
power. You dare attack me?
I mean, fuck, I'll be honest, I'd be better off if I never had heard of or seen any footage of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Inspiring.
Freak
'Cause
out
that
a little
shit
bit.
fucking bothers me now.
Does it?
Just about anything that I see will probably, if it's like creepy in some way, then it's probably going to fuck with me for a while. Like when I was little and I'd watch my friend play Resident Evil 2, that fucking,
Yeah, dude.
that had a lasting impact.
I was 21 years old. I was playing Silent Hill 2, and that
Oh,
shit
God.
still fucks with me. If it's real foggy outside, I'm staying in the house. I've called off work because of that shit before.
Yeah, I would be watching him play Silent Hill 2 eventually when that came out. It'd be broad daylight, like the window would be open, we're both in the room, you know. He'd still only be able to play it for like 10 minutes at most.
I am unstoppable.
We'd just be like, you know what, we're gonna play something else now.
That
That game's
fog.
fucking terrifying. I mean, now, you could probably go through it a lot longer. But back then, it was fucking nope.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 wouldn't bother me much now, only because I've played it so much that it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm pretty sure if I'd never played it before, it would still fuck with me.
I need
I mean, fuck, when I go back and replay Fear and Fear 2, there's still parts of those games that just get me up a fucking wall. Like, I'll know what's coming, but I'm still just like, nope, don't want it.
So many people are missing a great section of the stream right now.
I don't have enough.
No, 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 no!
It made me sad that Fear 3 didn't have any moments like that.
Right, that was bothersome.
Because still going...
It had the story of a Fear game. It had the fucking...
The story was even pretty was real shit, though.
Well, by comparison, yeah. But you could tell it was a Fear game. And
Yeah.
the gameplay was very Fear-like, and then
It's awesome.
it was escape from the horrible place in the dark, but that was it.
There wasn't, like, anything...
I will
Come
never
on.
forget the time that my butthole puckered up so bad I couldn't shit for 3 days. That time that I went to go down a ladder, turned around, and Alma was like, "What's
Yeah!
that?"
And then you get down to the bottom, and then, oh, hey, it's metal!
Oh my god, the first time I saw that fucking ladder thing though, holy shit. That gets everybody the first time.
It was bad.
Or in the fucking office buildings towards the end, or I guess maybe towards the middle, I don't remember where it was. But when you hear the phone ringing in the cubicle and you look over and then almost fucking crawling at you, Ring style.
Yeah. Fear needs to make a movie.
Oh my god.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Get on that shit, Monolith. WB, just let them do that, please. They need to make a movie based off Fear. Point Man needs to be a character, and he can never talk. Give me a movie with a silent protagonist that isn't actually mute.
I want in there.
Doom 3 had some pretty good scares in it, I feel like.
Never played it.
It's good. I would honestly recommend it if you feel like playing a shooter
I'm just
that's,
warming up.
Doom.
I never was a fan of Doom, honestly.
Like, I never understood why there's people, there's always those groups of
My
people with
bags are
every
full.
game, but they're always like, oh, Doom 3 was such a huge disappointment, or they act like everyone thinks that, and no one does.
Right.
Like,
I am returning
if you
to
look
town.
at it, the game got good reviews everywhere, and you play it yourself, and you're like, this is a really solid game, I'm not sure what the fuck they're talking about. Like, it even still feels like a Doom game, so...
I think the thing that kills so many fucking sequels is the nostalgia factor. Or
yeah,
the
people
fresh
are trying,
factor.
they want it to be, like, exactly like the previous game or something like that. or-
Right, and like in retrospect, Fable 2 beat the fuck out of Fable 1 overall. But people are like, it's not as good as Fable 1. You play Fable 2, you go back and play Fable 1, and it's like, oh, I might have been wrong. Because when Fable 1 came out, there wasn't any other games really like it.
Right.
There were things that touched similarly on different aspects. But you play Fable and it's like, wow, this is a really good combination. Nobody's done this before. This is great. And then Fable 2 comes out and they're like, but they changed which button does the thing! You
Right.
freak the fuck out.
I mean, Doom...
I
keep going.
personally think that Fable 3 is better than both of them because it adds so much stuff. Sure, there's stuff I like better about 2 and better about 1, but you got to look at it overall. Well, they changed the thing I like. The gold pieces are now hexagonal instead of round, so fuck this game. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Good day.
Oh, fuck, what was I gonna say? I remember one of the things I was gonna say, which is with Fear 3, it's like, this is by all means a really fucking good game.
Really.
You look at it, and it's like, it has all of the fucking gameplay you would want from it. It is one of the best shooters you're gonna play still. But it just doesn't have the crap that makes it a Fear game.
The oh fuck Jesus
apart-
factor.
Yeah, it has the awesome, like, high action combat that you learn to love from the Fear games. It's got the shooter part. It doesn't have the scary part.
Yeah.
There's no oh shit moments. There's like one in the entire game, and that's in the haunted Costco.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
That was the only level that was scary in any capacity.
And it was so scary because you were used to not scary at all by that point.
You're like, this is just an action game, right? It's not an
That's
action
like
genre.
slipping a closet with the Grudge in it in the middle of the Wizard of Oz.
I'm just warming up.
I was
then-
listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, but after that, then it's like, oh, no, back to just action shooter thing. Occasionally Alma will show up, but you're not shitting yourself because they made Alma a fucking pussy.
Literally, because she gives birth later.
It's true. I mean, yeah, you expect it to be pregnant and doing the whole giving birth thing, but you expect it to also, you know, scare the crap out of you that she's pregnant.
Right.
But it doesn't. Like, the one thing that they executed well about that game, apart from, you know, the actual really solid gameplay, is Fettle.
Yeah.
Fettle and Point Man were fucking awesome. Everything else was just crap. And again, I've gone back, I've replayed it a couple times, because it's still really fun, but... doesn't have what I need. The fucking multiplayer modes are scarier than the campaign. And my friend he's probably right on this. His theory on it is the fact that they hired some comic book writer to do the writing for it, as opposed to just doing it themselves. And it wasn't Monolith that did it; it was Day One or whatever. And you know, they did an awesome, like, you can tell just from like the way that they did all the multiplayer shit, like the different game modes, the contractions wave mode, the fucking run mode, which makes you shout fucking run way more than you would expect. Like, without even thinking about the game title, it just happens. And like, you could just tell from that, like, this game would have been 1,000 times better of a Fear game if they had just done it themselves and just winged it instead of hiring some random comic book dude to do it.
Right.
Yeah. It's okay though, because I still have the first 2 games. And then just Fear Online, just that doesn't exist. It's pointless. It really is. It's just like, okay,
This is as far as
here's a modern day shooter with real world guns. It just so happens to have the factions from the Fear games.
Right.
That's basically it. Oh, you can craft weapons from Fear 2 that you get for a day. And then they're gone, and you have to get all the parts to make them again. It's like, why is this? If you're making an online Fear game, it's honestly just for fan service. Like, no one else is going to want to play it other than people who like Fear.
If only they could see
So why
me
would you
now.
not make it as much like Fear as possible? Instead, they're just like, here's a bunch of recycled assets from Fear 2 with real-world guns in it. Like, they straight up just recycled maps, models, everything from fucking Fear 2. It's ridiculous.
You dare attack me?
And then, of course, the 2 female characters in the game were dressed, like, super fucking, like, revealingly. Despite the fact that in, you know, the Fear 1 and 2, at Fear 3, you have the female characters who aren't, they're dressed like, you know, normal people.
Right.
Like, Fear 2, you have Stokes, who's in Delta Force and is, you know, wearing the same armor as all of the male members of the Delta Force team.
Right. Just with a very slight bulge in the chest.
Yeah. It's like, she
Which
just
is
looks like a
disappointing.
female soldier. Okay. Why couldn't they do that? Instead, the female person for Armacam is wearing, like, spaghetti straps and high heel boots. It's like fucking fishnet stockings. It's like, what the fuck is this? Why is she wearing, like, tight leather and shit? I'm just confused by this.
I don't have enough arcane power.
Like, nothing about it actually fit Fear. What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Didn't see
Something
that coming,
about
did you?
sequels or
Doom 3.
scary games originally. That's what it was. It was shit that makes you afraid of the dark.
Yes.
Just,
Ironically, the show Are You Afraid of the Dark? That
yeah.
one with the fucking swimming pool?
How does
Do you remember that? The
feel?
one with the scary fucking skeleton monster that's invisible till they dump some sort of chemical in the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Did they kill it with chlorine or something?
Yeah. No, it was something that reacted with chlorine. I could tell by your reaction that fucked you up too.
I don't remember if that actually. I don't think that ever actually did anything, but I remember the episode. I'm trying to think if any episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark actually, like, fucked with me at all.
That's the only one I can remember.
I remember there was some episode where, like, brother and sister or whatever went to some weird place that was, like, super amazing, and there was all these cool games and shit, and then there were randomly people that were, like, mummified or some shit.
Sounds vaguely familiar. I remember one thing that fucked me up was one of the Goosebumps books. Was the one where they're at a carnival.
I never read any of the Goosebumps books.
Oh, damn.
But never
Some of
watched
those
the
were
show either.
fucked up. See, what always got me wasn't necessarily, it's scary, it's a monster, it's gonna get you. It was like the Silicon Valley type shit. The stuff where you look at it, it's like, that's wrong. That's fucking wrong. Like, the biggest scary thing about Silent Hill 2 for me,
Right.
everybody's like, oh, dude, Pyramid Head's freaky. No, not so much. He's just a dude wearing, like, part of an air conditioner unit on his head. They're like,
In fact,
the
he's
fog is
raping
scary.
their monsters.
Well, I never saw that. The nurses, though, the ones that they should have a fucking face, but they fucking don't, or the things that are just two sets of legs glued together, real weird
Stick
shit.
figures.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit at the beginning. Good.
Yeah. Pyramid Head's, yeah, he's a dude with a thing on his head that rapes other monsters.
You don't know that it's rape.
Your defenses are nothing.
Assuming that these monsters have any form of free will.
Right, well, I mean, dude, the nurse monsters are dressed like they're asking for it.
That's true. We're not going to go into the semantics of monster rape here. Or other games that actually scare the shit out of me. Apart from like the Fear series, Fear 1 and 2 anyway.
Super Mario World used to freak me the fuck out.
Really?
Yeah, when you're in the haunted house, I'd have fucking panic attacks if I didn't turn around soon enough. Like the ghosts would cover their eyes.
Dude, the earliest fucking nightmare that I can recall having, I don't know why, but I'll always just remember this, is me being in a ghost house in Super Mario World and the fucking Big Boo coming at me just slowly as fuck, even though I was looking at it.
I've had that nightmare. The first nightmare I can remember having is fucking weird too. You remember Harry and Marv from Home Alone?
They're the two,
Bandits?
Yeah.
I had a dream that, for whatever reason, they were holding me captive, and I was chained to a wall in a cave. Like, my legs were chained, and my arms were chained, and I was, like, starfish position. And it's a perfectly round cave. Like, I'm chained to the back wall, and it's the shape of a ball. But it's only half a ball, because it's a cave. And they just start laughing and roll a perfectly sized ball in on me and crush me.
Oh, Jesus.
I had that nightmare every night for like 6 weeks.
Fucking... The reoccurring nightmare I had, I think there were a couple, but there was one that that stands out, was, I was on like a pier at like the shore. Like I think there were rides on like another pier or something. The point is, I at like one pier, and then my brother or someone was on another pier and was like, "Hey, you should come over here." And I'm like, "Okay." And randomly off topic, but in the dream was just kind of inconsequentially was a life-size version of my favorite Hot Wheels car that I assume I was driving at some point before the dream occurred. But then I would be like, okay, and then I would back up and then take a running jump off the pier, assuming that I would clear this, like, 200-foot gap. And then I clearly don't. As a matter of fact, I only jump the distance that a normal human can jump. And then I just fall straight into the ocean, and then some crazy-ass sea monster ends up eating me.
Because of course it did.
Might have been a shark, I don't know.
I was terrified of water for a long time due to a random nightmare I had. And it wasn't even for anything anybody would expect. So I'm playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
This isn't in the dream, this is just what led up to it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure what triggered it was I'm running around and just
I am
randomly
so
they'll
good.
hide
I
weird shit
found
places.
myself.
Right.
And I don't know if you ever played Vice City.
It's the only GTA game I own. I fucking love it.
Okay, somewhere out there is a dude in boxers with cement shoes at the bottom of the water.
Really?
Yeah. And I sat there and I pondered that for a surprisingly long amount of time. And then I had a dream, or a nightmare I guess, that somebody tied cinder blocks to my feet and dropped me into the middle of the ocean. Not, oh, we just drove a couple miles offshore. Like, no, we're in the middle of the fucking Pacific, and now we're going to drop you. And I decided that somehow I would be able to get my feet free, so I took a deep breath before I hit the water. And that was a mistake. And then just like, for what seems like a couple hours, the nightmare goes on with me sinking to the bottom of the ocean and it getting darker and colder and it's pressing more on my body and just the pressure fucking crushing my ribs and shit. And then I wake up and I throw up.
Fuck.
Your grave
It was
awaits.
fucking like I lost sleep over that shit for a couple nights. And then I wouldn't
sleep
go into
over Resident
water that
Evil.
was over my head.
Nice. Oh, good old nightmares and shit.
People
Yeah, I
tuning-
still just generally feel uneasy if it's just dark out. Or
I don't
dark
like
in
that.
the house.
Yeah, I don't like not being able to see. I really don't like not being able to see when it's really quiet, because then I hear everything.
Remember, the scariest shit in games is usually the crap you never see.
We will
Yeah.
choose our own destiny. You needn't worry about that.
Like in Dead Space. Like my friend would tell me like the things that would like creep him out the most, like more than all the random monsters, would just be the fact that you always hear shit moving around, or in Silent Hill you always hear something that's like just out of view and you never fucking see what it is and you never know if that thing's going to come out and get you.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously after you play the game like once or twice, then like you know that it's not actually anything, but it's still just like, I don't know what that is. Like it lets your mind create the most terrifying possible result there.
Before
Right.
she dies.
to a lesser extent, DayZ, ambient fucking zombies.
Yeah. No, Daisy could be creepy. Never like overwhelmingly so, but it had moments where you just be like, oh fuck, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
I need to go back.
Anymore with fear though, for the most part, child Alma at least doesn't really scare me anymore. Just adult
I have
Alma,
discovered that
Adult
no-
almost fucking terrifying.
because she really fucking has it out for you. Not to mention in the second game, the entire time she's trying to rape you, so...
Yeah. She's attractive for an undead psychopath.
When she makes herself attractive,
Yeah.
which kind of adds to the creepiness.
Finest dies in
That actually always reminded me of this movie I saw called, like, The Haunting, I think. The
Okay.
Haunting or The Haunted. One of those has Catherine Zeta-Jones and Owen Wilson in it. The other has a bunch of nobodies, and a demon follows them from house to house as they move around and try to get away from it and shit, and the house is blessed and stuff. At one point, the husband and wife are having a fight because this is stressing them out, and it's been going on for months now. So she goes upstairs and goes to bed, and he's downstairs just hanging out stewing, and randomly this really hot chick comes in, and she's like fucking seduces him, and she pushes him down on the floor, and they're gonna fuck. And as soon as she gets on top of him, she turns into this nasty, slobbery, fat bitch, like scary fucking ugly chick, and he's like just rapes the fuck out of him. And that's what that made me think of. I saw
Nice.
this movie when I was about 12.
Oh, that's good.
It's a really good movie. I'd actually like to see it again.
Nice.
Not because of the fat bitch.
Yeah, I assumed so. Is
Little
anyone
fella.
still in the chat?
I don't know. Little fella, you're going to bed in 7 minutes. You're not in trouble, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you gotta be at school in 8 hours.
Destroy the gate!
Wait, we're back here?
Babylon is here.
Right.
I don't know, there's just something about that though. It's like first you have Hag Alma chasing you down, and then she finally like catches you briefly at the one point and then just makes herself look attractive, and then it's just like, that's kinda creepy with you coming on to me like that.